Okay, Rose, you live and breathe this. You've been dying to make this babka.
You know that soft, fluffy dough that you use for things like brioche or challah? That's enriched dough. It includes things like butter, eggs, and milk. It's a little bit different from bread dough, but if you can learn how to master it, you're gonna feel like a rock star. I just think babka is such a beautiful bread. The way the filling is intertwined with all the dough. It's, I think, one of the prettiest breads you could ever make. Before I started developing this, I had never made one and always wanted to. It takes time, like all of the weekend projects do, but it is so satisfying to see that come out of the oven. This really intricate, beautiful bread. It's delicious. It's a big day for me today to make this babka. I'm so excited. Should we get started? Are you ready? So the first thing we'll do, we mix together our eggs, our milk, our yeast in a liquid measuring cup. We're just gonna whisk that up a little bit. And a little bit of vanilla. If you put it in a liquid measuring cup, it's just so much easier to get it into the mixer later. We're gonna mix our dry ingredients with a dough hook. We have flour, sugar, and salt. And we're just gonna combine that for about 30 seconds. And then we're gonna slowly pour in our egg, yeast, milk mixture. And we're gonna let that go until it's combined for about 2 minutes. You're gonna have like a slightly lumpy dough. That looks pretty good. And it's at this point, I'm gonna start adding softened butter, a few tablespoons at a time. Kind of let it incorporate into the dough. This is gonna run for a long time, so if it doesn't completely incorporate when you throw a couple pats in there, don't worry about it. It's gonna have plenty of time to do that. So you just wanna kind of get it going. So all of our butter is incorporated. We're gonna let this go for 7 to 9 minutes. We want the dough to be smooth, glossy, and pull away from the side of the bowl. A dough like this has a lot of fat in it. It has eggs, it has milk, it has butter. If you don't let it build gluten, it's not gonna rise as well. So you really have to let it beat as long as you need to get that kind of consistency. So this has been about 9 or 10 minutes. As you can see, the dough has pretty much completely pulled away from the side of the bowl. It doesn't have to completely pull away. If you're starting to see it pull away through most of the bowl, that's okay. If it's really sticking to the bowl, then you want to add maybe a tablespoon or 2 of flour. I actually like a really hydrated dough, so it doesn't bother me if it's sticking a little bit to the side of the bowl, but this looks perfect. And when I pull up the mixer, you can see it's nice and shining. It's holding this rope, which means it has enough gluten in it so that it's gonna rise nicely and be able to hold that nice puffy bread dough. I'm going to move this into the center of the bowl with a spatula, just push it all down in there. We're gonna cover it with plastic wrap, let it sit out for about 45 minutes so it kind of starts to rise a little bit and get that yeast started before you put it in the fridge. I like to put it in the fridge overnight, but it has to be at least 6 hours in the fridge. When your babka is almost ready to shape, you wanna make the filling. We're going to take some milk and some butter. Bring this to a simmer until the butter is melted, and then I'm gonna take it off and let it cool for a few minutes before I start the rest of the filling. So we've got a simmer, the butter's melted. I'm just gonna put this aside while I get everything else ready. I have some powdered sugar, so we have some cocoa powder. And when you add some kind of coffee, it kind of enhances the flavor of chocolate. So we've added a little espresso powder to this and a little bit of salt, which kind of heightens everything, makes everything, believe it or not, taste a little sweeter. I'm gonna whisk in the butter and the milk until it's nice and smooth. So this looks pretty loose, but we're gonna add our tahini. So I kind of learned this the hard way. Tahini has to go in at the end. I was initially kind of whisking it with the sugar before I would add the milk or the butter, and it was seizing up every single time. So I think having it be a little bit warm really helps the tahini incorporate into the filling better than if you try to add it earlier in the process. I forgot the vanilla, so we just need about a teaspoon. I'm just gonna eye that. So this is beautiful and glossy. I'm just gonna put that aside while I roll out my dough. Okay, so we had another dough that we let rise overnight. Look at how much it rose. So we have 2 9x5 loaf pans. I have buttered them. This is an 8x14-inch piece of parchment. Make like a little sling. And that way it's easy to pull them out of the pan when you're ready. And then I'm gonna make our babka. This makes 2 babka. You could freeze it if you don't want to eat both of them at the same time. So I'm going to cut this in half And I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator because we really do want this to stay cold. So first thing you want to do is press this into a rectangle. If you start here, it's going to be a little bit easier to roll it into a rectangle. But the other thing I'm going to say is if it's not a rectangle, when you roll it out, it will be fine. No one's going to know that you didn't have a perfect rectangle. What we want to do is have a 12 by 18 inch piece of dough. This is the most difficult part of this recipe because it just takes some time and a little bit of elbow grease. I'll start rolling it kind of towards me, and then to get the 18 inches across, I turn it. A little bit of flour on your counter so that it doesn't stick. You don't want too much flour because you need a little bit of tension on the dough so that you can roll it large enough. So now I'm going to start rolling it this way. So if it sticks, again, just see there's a little patch of butter there or something. Just kind of add enough flour to keep it from sticking to your board. If you roll the dough, say you didn't roll it thin enough, you're going to have parts of your babka that are a little bit too thick. So you want to make sure that you roll it thin enough so that you have lots of layers in your babka. So yeah, this is long enough. Let's see if it's wide enough. Oh, I think we're almost there. Yeah, I'm just going to maybe even it out a little bit, but we're pretty close. That looks pretty good. And as you can see, not a perfect rectangle. It's okay. So here's my filling. We are making 2 babka. You only want to use half of the fillings. I just find kind of dotting it on makes it a little easier to spread more evenly. And then an offset spatula is a really perfect tool for this. We're gonna try and spread this as close to the edge as we can. I know it seems like you're not gonna be able to do it, but you can spread this pretty thin. I think this dough is pretty forgiving, so really press it and get it as close to the edge as possible. Then we have 4 ounces of chopped bittersweet chocolate. Again, this is 2 babkas, so we're only gonna use half, and we're gonna sprinkle that over the top. And this makes these little kind of chocolatey pockets when it's baked. And then we're going to roll it up kind of jelly roll style. I kind of pull it towards me a little bit as I'm rolling it. It will make it a little bit of a tighter roll. You know, sometimes the edges aren't perfect. Don't worry about that. If it sticks a little, you could use a bench scraper or a knife to unstick it. But this dough is pretty good. It doesn't stick too badly. A little bit of a stick there. So then what I'm going to do is roll it onto the seam. And put a little flour on my hands here. Just pinch it together to close it. See, there's a little bit of chocolate spilling out, but that's fine. And then I just roll it back on the seam. And what I like to do is I take both my hands, this is a little sticky somewhere, and kind of squeeze it and press it so that the filling is even. Because sometimes you'll get the middle is really bulky and the sides are really thin. So we want this to be about 18 inches as well. Have a little spillage on the edge, but that's fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half. The best way to do it is to take a chef knife and just press it straight down. Don't try to saw it because there's chocolate in it. It's a little hard to do that. So press the knife straight down, and then when you go to separate, if some of it's attached, just run the knife, and that will dislodge that. Look at that. Even that looks pretty, I think. And then what you want to do is cross them in the center. You're going to braid from the center to each side. And I like to get about 5 or 6 twists. You want to make sure you keep the filling side up. So that's like 4, 5, 6. Pinch the edge together and tuck it in just a little bit. You don't want to tuck it in too much because then you'll get a bulge at the end of the babka. And then just do the same on the other side. It does not need to be perfect. It is going to be beautiful no matter how you twist it or turn it. Now we have that end. So obviously this is not going to fit in a loaf pan. So like it's an accordion, we're going to press it together. Doesn't that look amazing? I love it. And with conviction, put it right in the loaf pan. And you can move it around a little bit to, kind of even it out. Then you want to cover it with a piece of plastic wrap and make the next one. And these are going to rise for about an hour till they come to the edge of the pan, and then we'll bake them. So you can see these have risen right up to the edge of the pan. See, the dough is nice and fluffy. Now I'm going to put these in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. Then we're going to open the oven, rotate the pan, and cover them with a piece of foil. Bake them for another 10 minutes. The reason we're doing that is in 30 minutes, they won't be cooked all the way through, but the top of them starts to burn a little bit. So you want to cover them with foil, to make sure that the top doesn't burn. They'll temp in the center about 190 to 200 when they're done. It's typically brushed with a simple syrup, so that way it allows the bread to last longer and not dry out as quickly. It's just a third a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of water, and a teaspoon of espresso powder. So I'm going to bring this to a simmer. I'm just going to let the sugar dissolve and then it will be done. Okay, so these are baked. See how beautiful they are. So I'm going to brush these with syrup right away so that will kind of soak in and seal up the bread. These look beautiful and shiny. So I'm going to let these cool for 30 minutes on the wire rack. And then I'll remove them from the pan, take the parchment off, and brush them all around. Look at how beautiful these are. Oh, how pretty. That's the thing about these. Every single one is different, and it's all going to be something that you made by hand. So you can see this dough is really delicate and soft. You can see some chocolate in there, the filling. It's perfect. I love it. So if you want to make this babka, get our new book, Milk Street Bakes. It's an amazing book. If you love to bake, this is the book for you.
Okay.
I love this book.
Intro,
Got
and then we
this
gotta
book.
cut some babkas. Oh, are you hugging the book?
I am loving the book. I love this book.